Hi, my name's Malcolm Monroe, and I'm the President and CEO of Hired Guns Consulting. You know, we are getting towards the end of the year, and this is the time of year when a lot of people start thinking about what are they going to do in the next year to make themselves get better. And they often start with something we all call a New Year's resolution. Now, if you've been around any length of time, you know that a New Year's resolution is a tough thing to keep. Many years ago, when I was stationed overseas, I had a supervisor. His name was Manny, and Manny was a chain smoker. Now, back in those days, of course, you could smoke inside buildings, and so he'd be back in his lab working, smoking away. Everybody would be getting on his case. And so one year he said, I have got to quit smoking. Well, you know, his New Year's resolution to quit smoking lasted him exactly 1/2 a day. By New Year's Day afternoon, he said his kids started arguing and fighting. He got stressed out. He lit up a cigarette. Manny's story is like many of ours. We start out with the best of intentions, but by 2 or 3 weeks into it, if we've lasted even that long, it's over. If you attend a gym regularly, you know that that first month of January is the worst time to go to the gym. Everybody's in there, everybody's trying something new, there's a bunch of new members that got memberships for Christmas, and yet by the time you get to February or a couple weeks into February, the majority of them have already quit. The secret to keeping a New Year's resolution, and really any other kind of resolution you've ever made, is to understand the nature of how those things happen. Now, to help you with that, I have a diagram. And so if you'd like a copy of this diagram, just go to managerprepper.com and you can go ahead and download this thing. But if you've been in any of my workshops, you've seen this before. If you've read my book, A Common Language, How to Properly Describe What's Wrong with You, you've seen this model. The model describes how people develop. Now, you can take that process and you can put it right into your New Year's resolution process, but it goes like this. All of us begin to think about resolutions and we get excited. In fact, when we tell people, hey, New Year's resolution for me, I'm going to lose some weight. I'm going to quit smoking. I'm going to quit drinking. And we get excited about those things. The challenge, of course, is understanding that that excitement, that will, if we look at our three-legged stool of great performance, the will is there. We can't wait to get started. We don't know yet what we're getting ourselves into. We don't understand how it's going to happen, but everything is good. And that good feeling, we call that our Zone 1 experience. That lasts into New Year's Day and maybe the couple days after. You know, during that period of time, as you're thinking about your resolution, this is the time to prepare for the inevitable Zone 2. You see, right now, if you are, for example, thinking about losing weight in 2018, 2019, 2020, whatever year it's going to be for you, you need to think right now about what your strategy is going to be and how you're going to handle it when things get tough. Are you going to have somebody you'll be accountable to? Is there going to be a strict workout regimen you're going to follow? Is there a diet that you're going to follow? The key right now is to make sure you are ready to go. Get rid of your junk food. Make sure you have a set time to get to the gym. Prepare yourself in Zone 1 because when you hit Zone 2, it's going to get pretty ugly. Zone 2 is when the wheels fall off. Zone 2 is when you say, you know what, this is a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. And that Zone 2 experience, now your will is gone. You still don't know what you're doing. You still just don't have all the information, but now you don't even want to do it. This is the time when you need somebody to come alongside and say, listen, I see you're stuck. Let me get you through. But you know, the good thing about Zone 2 is that if you've prepared well in Zone 1, you'll be ready for this. If you know right now in Zone 1 that when you hit Zone 2 you're going to experience this, you can prepare for it right now. You can build yourself some safeguards in there. And I would encourage all of you to do that as you start thinking about what to do in the next year. If you can survive Zone 2, and it's survivable, you get to Zone 3. Zone 3 is where things begin to make more sense. You begin to get a little more sure of yourself. At that point, you might need some accountability. You might need somebody to give you occasional encouragement. But now you are driving the process. In Zone 2, it's driving you. Now you're driving the process. Of course, the goal is to get yourself into Zone 4. In Zone 4, that's when you have mastered it. You've achieved that goal you've wanted. You've quit smoking. You've lost the weight you want to lose. Maybe your spending habits are better. But you know, that's the goal. And right now, as we get close to the beginning of a new year, it's time to start thinking about what will Zone 4 look like for me. You know, also realize too, there's one last zone. We call that Zone 5. Zone 5 is when you sort of feel like there's got to be something more. You know, one way to look at this is maybe in this next year, your goal is to get down and drop maybe 30 pounds. And when you hit Zone 4, you've lost your 30 pounds, but now you think, wow, there's got to be something more. So maybe you say, well, for the next year, I'm going to run a half marathon. You see, zone 5 is when you start to think about what comes next. The good news is that in all of these phases, you really need to think about somebody who can be there for you. If you have somebody there for you, they can encourage you, give you the information you need, there is a very good chance you'll accomplish it. You know, all of us get a new do-over, start of the year. You have a few more weeks before it begins. Start thinking about your strategy, because you may be one of the few people who can actually make and keep a resolution. And you know, that alone might be a good resolution for you. Either way, if you have any questions, want to chat about it, contact me at my website, which is managerprepper.com, or you can email me directly at coach@contactmycoach.com. You can call me at 844-HIRE-GUN. You know, I won't wish you good luck on your resolution, because luck doesn't happen unless you do something. So I'm going to wish you a really, really good experience. Looking forward to hearing about how you knock out your resolution in this coming year.